Sonic Underground episode 39, The Pendant. You know, this was an excellent show. Then this would be about them finding a pendant, and in the finale, it would take down Robotnik. Sonia asks what's taking her brother so long, and when Cyrus jokes that Sonic probably got some chili dogs, it turns out that Sonia was wrong to uncharacteristically put faith in him. Sonic takes off to cause a blackout, and then returns to Manic with a chili dog stand, and accomplishing his goal in seconds. Sonia and Cyrus look up at a tower, and Sonia climbs up a rope. Cyrus says there's 20 seconds before backup power kicks in, and she places an explosive or something and goes down the rope. She's then confused, a spotlight goes over her, and Sonic has to come and bail her out. Why did they fail? Why did he know to show up that fast? Robotnik says the pollution of his factories cut through the cloud banks around Mobius, exposing the Emerald Peninsula, where there's thousands of new candidates for the roboticizer. He tells Sleet to go there, and Sleet says that there's tons of hiding spots on the peninsula. The people there believe in a being that, if caught, will bring them wealth. How does he... He didn't know about the peninsula's existence until the cloud bank disappeared. But now, without even visiting the place, he already knows what the people there believe in. If he could have accessed information about them that would tell him what they believe in with regards to myths, then he should have already known about them. Anyways, Robotnik plans to use a fake version of a mystical being, which will be a transformed dingo. And he'll use that fake to lure the people to the roboticizers. So what, is this peninsula... Wait, no, it couldn't be in the sky, because then it wouldn't be a peninsula, it'd be an island. How did Robotnik not find this place already by sending flying cameras everywhere to map out the whole world? Wouldn't the whole world have been mapped out by now? It's not like the place is in a different dimension. It's a peninsula. Cyrus somehow knows about Robotnik's plan already. I guess through the pink crystal ball device he gave the heroes episodes ago. Sonia tells her siblings about the bog-on mystical creature in the van, and Sonic jokes that he's a banker.
You mean like a banker?
So many charming exchanges in the show. That's what makes it good. Manic says a bunch of techno-babble that a random street thief shouldn't know about how he thought the van was working fine, and then the van breaks down, and it makes you think that it had been sabotaged. I would say that Dingo did it when he was shapeshifted, but of course not. Then as I continue to wonder how a street thief like Manic knew so much about vans, since we never see him in the library or with books studying, a pink blur runs past the heroes without stopping to talk to them like a normal person. And Manic then finds a bag of chili dogs. Sonic says it worked and it's still warm. The implication is that Sonic put the chili dogs on something that he shouldn't have, and that's why their van broke. Sonic wants to catch the blur, but after he trips, fortunately the pink civilian stops instead of spending several minutes before the heroes could talk to her and padding out the episode. She's a kindly old woman who says the heroes are freezing since they're shivering. We see a tractor beam from an airship kidnap someone. Dingo asks what's that, and the pink-clothed woman says that the bog beasts are mostly harmless and just like knocking into people. She reads Sonia's poem and says that in a battle tomorrow, she'll find an object that'll give her great power and help her find her mother. No, it won't. Well, the final episode is the next one, but it's also a cliffhanger, isn't it? The heroes are lucky enough to encounter the bounty hunters in a pretty white area. They just sit there and let someone get sent into a tractor beam instead of Sonic doing something about it. They've probably got that person roboticized. When they're spotted by robots, Sonic runs away, and Sonia says she'll cover him from a high place with her instrument, while he'll play decoy. She sees a glowing green light, getting distracted so she can't cover Sonic, and Sonic just stands there instead of killing the robots, looking cowardly. The pink blur knocks over the robots, and Sonic presses a button in it. It shouldn't be so easy for just about anybody to press buttons inside of a robot. Maybe the idea is that Robotnik wants to make it convenient for himself to disable them in case the robot betrays him, but he should carry around a screwdriver. Sonia sees Robotnik plotting thanks to the green light, and she stands on her hoverboard spying on the bounty hunters. She looks badass when she shoots at robots while flying at an angle. Then she flies into the airship, and pulls a lever to close the door she went in through, keeping the robot from going after her, and she's relatable, saying it was a satisfying sound. Then Sonya presses a button to release her brothers from the tractor beams, and Sonic calls Sonya out on having disappeared and gotten him kidnapped, and asks her if she thinks she's him. Sonic says he turned off the suspended animation units, but then the airship crashes. When Manic asks how long it'll be before they wake up, I wondered if it was going to be an unusually dark joke about how the airship made a rough landing and knocked everybody out. After Sonya uses the pendant to spy on Robotnik again, her arm turns intangible. I guess the pendant is a really spiteful magical artifact that punishes anyone who uses it. It's good to have some balance for an overpowered eavesdropping device, but that didn't happen when the heroes used Cyrus's crystal ball generator. Sonya lampshades that the old woman didn't tell her about the pendant's side effect, and she says that there's 2 halves to the pendant, and she can't touch the pendant until the 2 halves become whole. She apologizes for putting them in danger and says that Sonya must lose the pendant again to find the location of the other half. Sonya says she might disappear, but if she doesn't act now, she'll disappear anyways. Then the heroes take off as Sonya continues to keep disappearing, and she's naturally upset about this. Slate reveals to the heroes that he found the other half of the pendant, because why was I surprised by this? He's a main villain. It's predictable. He found the other half of the pendant, and so he wants to trade. He wants the location of his transport ship, so Sonic tells him the truth, actually expecting him to keep his word. Why doesn't Sonic just immediately rush at the robots at super speed and destroy them? Finally, he gets the idea to whirlwind, and Manic hoverboards at one of them and slams Slate into lull as epic guitar music plays. And Manic steals the other half of the pendant. We didn't need our time to be wasted with Sonic looking like an idiot trusting Slate. Manic fuses the 2 halves of the pendant near Sonya, and she's back to normal. The pink-clothed woman turns into a fairy and says she's free to restore the clouds that protect their land now, and we see a pink whirlwind carry away the bounty hunters and return them to Robotropolis. Why can't they just come back here? She says the pendant can be used once more without danger. Yeah, once. And Sonya says she'll save it until they need it, but how does she know when to use it next? She might waste it. Why once? Then Sonic asks her for a favor, and the pink blur scares Robotnik while looking like him. This episode was about 2 halves of a pendant, and when Sonya gets only 1 half, she can eavesdrop on Robotnik, but with the catch that she starts to disappear. I don't understand how this makes sense because Cyrus made them a device that does the same thing without this dickish drawback. I like that the pink-clothed woman turned out to be magical, since that was what I assumed when a pink blur seemed to stop and she approached the heroes. It turns out she's a fairy, and she needed the heroes' help to get the pendants back together so she can make the peninsula hidden by clouds again. But Robotnik knows where it is. Wouldn't Robotropolis' pollution immediately get rid of the clouds again, making the whole episode pointless? Also, I don't claim to be an expert on pollution, but wouldn't the pollution just create smoke clouds and create more clouds and not get rid of clouds? It was a good twist that while the people that can be captured to give people treasure chests were still mythical beings, naturally since it would ruin the economy if they were real, it turned out that the pink-clothed woman wasn't one of those specific magical beings, but was a different being instead. It's good because it's less predictable that way.